Hi, this is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com. We are still working through, or rather working down, our list of top 10 organizational issues as identified by organizational consultants Roger Connors, Tom Smith, and Craig Hickman. We have covered programmatics, cross-functional strife, senior management development, and for today our focus is on poor performance. Let's go through the basics. What is the number one responsibility of the manager? Yeah, the manager has a lot on his or her plate, he or she is supposed to grow the people, supposed to take care of their needs, to listen to them, and so on. But when you boil down right to the essence of it, what is the number one responsibility of the manager? You guess it, the number one responsibility of the manager is performance, and not just performance, but high performance, sustainable performance. It is not just a one-time off performance, but a performance that is ongoing, a performance that is sustainable. That is an issue in most organizations today. And you know what's tricky about this performance issue? Managers, we are 100% accountable for 80% of the tasks that is beyond our control. Meaning 80% of our tasks are delegated to others and we need to monitor their performance, but we are 100% accountable. So this is the dilemma that we are in. We are 100% accountable for 80% of the tasks that are delegated to others to do. So how do we ensure that there is performance? There are three performance mindsets that we as managers need to have. Number one, we must care enough to confront. And not only just to confront, but to confront as early as possible. This confrontational mindset is key to ensuring high performance. Most of us are very good at communicating expectations, but when actual performance fall below par or below expectations, what do? It's not only what we do, it's what we don't do. It also communicates a message, because what happens is that if we do not confront and if we do nothing, your doing nothing is interpreted as a message as well. Because human nature is such that unless we confront underperformance, unless we confront and let the other person know where he or she have fallen below the expectation, human nature is such that it will tend to decline towards compromise. Because human beings tend to set their own comfort as their own standard, tend to think about their own comfort zone as to the measure by which they need to do their things. So when we keep quiet and do not confront, the message we are sending out is this: the standards of the employee is acceptable. But usually most of the time, the standard of the employee is below your expectation, unless you have a rare case where the employee is self-motivated and hold himself up to a higher standard. In that case, you can be quiet about it and your silence is taken as approval. But in most cases, people gravitate towards a lower standard. And if you're quiet about it and do not confront them as early as possible, they decline further and further away. And it's going to be much harder for them to backpedal to your expectations as it was in the beginning. So, performance mindset number one, care enough to confront as early as possible. Performance mindset number two, be diligent enough to repeat yourself. Let me repeat, be diligent enough to repeat yourself. I was told that pilots in the airline industry, whenever there is a policy change, the management makes sure that it is repeated 7 times in 7 different ways. Now, it is not because pilots' IQ are low, it is because research have shown that repetition is key to ingrain a certain message into our key behaviors. So when there is an important message to communicate, don't just do it once. Do it 7 times in 7 different ways. For example, if quality is an important message that you want to get through, you might want to talk about quality with regards to internal customers, quality with regards to external customers, quality with regards to how we deal with our vendors, quality with regards to how we improve our processes. The thing is this: we need to eat, live, and breathe quality, because what is repeated often enough gets into us. You know, we as human beings, we are forgetful and we need reinforcement. So before you can get that performance mindset, well, you got to go through the rigors of repetition. And really, when it comes to key issues, you can never really over communicate. Most of the time, the reverse is true. We don't communicate or repeat ourselves enough. But of course, you've got to learn to do it in different ways, different angles, so that it doesn't become monotonous. The third performance mindset is this: is your communication scalable? Now, what do I mean by saying that? Is your communication scalable enough? Now, most of us have got not much of an issue communicating our expectations one level down. Okay, we ask our direct report to be doing this for us and so on. But whatever that you communicate in terms of the expected performance, is he then equipped to communicate it down to his subordinates and this person to the other person? And when it finally hit the operations where the rubber meets the road, does this guys here really understand what you want? Because sometimes as a leader, we tend to communicate in high level languages with not much specifics in terms of dates, in terms of figures, in terms of timeline, and more importantly, relating the measurements to each level's job description and responsibility is key. Because by default, people tend to have a silo mentality and they interpret the world around them according to their narrow definitions of their job description. So your expectation of performance, is it communicated in a language that is operational? Is it communicated in a language that is transferable, so that different ones along the expectations chain, along the communications chain, is able to take the instructions given and translate it into actual action and performance? So even though you might start off with a very high level motivational message here, make sure that along the way you have people who can help you to translate that motivational language into operational measurements, into operational KPIs, into operational terminology, that people at the operational level can actually start to do something with what you expect them to do. Or else what we have is a communication breakdown, and it will not lead to high performance. So I'll encourage you, once in a while, walk the shop floor. Once in a while, go to operations, check whether if what you have communicated did actually reach the grassroots and received in the way that you thought or you meant for it to be. So at the root of it, poor performance comes from poor confrontational habits. Next, it comes from poor repeatability, meaning that we don't talk about it enough in different ways so that it didn't get in. And then thirdly, poor scalability. We speak in a way that is only easy for us to understand, but it never gets translated in a way that the people at the operations really understand. This is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com. Thanks for watching.